back to Table Topics, the video where I give you answers to questions you didn't even ask for. I have done one of these in the past. It's been a while, but I'll have it linked above and also in the description bar down below if you want to go give it a shot. But what is Table Topics, Stacy? Essentially, it's an icebreakers game. And I use the word game loosely here because there are no winners or losers. There are no rules to this. You simply draw a card, you read the question, you answer. So you could implement your own rules if you wanted, but I'm gonna leave that to you. Obviously, I have no one around to hear my response, so lucky you get to hear them. But don't forget to give this video a like if you like it. Leave a comment down below with your response to the questions. I would love to hear what you gotta say. Also, don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you're not already. But without further ado, let's get into our questions. Now, before we get into our questions, I do want to make note that there are different variations of this game, like Cards Against Humanity have different expansion packs. This one has that as well. I'm just using the original version. They do have a kit. They got different versions. But our first question is, would you be likely to survive alone in the wilderness? And I already hear everyone that personally knows me answering this question for me. And I'm curious if we're thinking along the same lines here. Now, it does not say how long you're going to be in the wilderness, if it's a short term or is this a long term period. If it's a long term period, no, I'm not surviving in the wilderness. If it's a short term period, yeah, I can totally do that. I am resourceful. I know how to protect myself. I am from the South where people hunt, they go fishing. I know how to use a gun. I have been fishing in the past. It is not something I actively enjoy doing. I am not your typical Southerner. And that's why a lot of people will be like, nah, she ain't surviving. But I know how to protect myself. I know how to make things work. So in a short-term scenario, yes, I could survive in the wilderness. For a long term, no. That is not me. I don't want it. I want my comforts. I am very city. I will admit that. I don't want to be in the woods. Moving on to our next question. What posters did you have in your room when you were young? Now, this is going to be a super easy one for me because the room I am filming in currently is basically the room I grew up in. Now, let me explain that because that sounds a little weird. But as I've said extensively throughout multiple videos, was very different as a kid, as a teenager, as an adult. I have never liked what the typical people around me like. There are those that are obsessed with music, and cool on you if that's your thing, but it has never been my thing. I have been obsessed with movies since forever, as long as I know. So my room reflected that. I had movie posters, I had movie memorabilia, I had anything to do with movies is what I'm saying. That was my aesthetic, that was my jam, that is what brought me joy. And when I grew up, I obviously am very much still into that type of stuff. I still collect movie things. And as an adult, that's not something you can put in a bedroom. It's kind of looked down upon, like it's not sophisticated. So I knew it couldn't be in my bedroom, obviously. And I finally got my own house and I was like, room dedicated to the movie stuff. And that's where I'm at. And it brings me joy whenever I walk in here. I look and I see I'm looking at Dexter right now. I have a picture that Johnny Depp supposedly signed. I have a True Blood bottle with stuff in it from the True Blood show, obviously. I got prop wands. I have my Funko Pops. I have little stuffed toys. This is the room that my Halloween closet is in. So just coming into this room just brings me so much joy. And I knew I had to bring all that stuff because I wasn't getting rid of that. Who are you kidding? Who are you crazy? Do you know how much this stuff costs? Moving on to our next question. Which of your personality traits would you like to change? Now, I know there are probably people out there screaming, hey, she wouldn't want to be as quiet as she is. But if you really know me, you know I'm not as quiet and shy as you once thought. Maybe these videos are helping explain who I am a little better. But that's not the thing I would like to change. I would like to change my temper, my anger. Over the past few years, I have gotten more angry and got a lot less patience for certain things. I can fly off the handle with certain things. I'll see something, I'll read something, something happens, and I'm like, ah! It just drives me insane. So there's probably something else bigger at work there that I need to get checked out, but yeah, temper. Our next question. If you knew you wouldn't get hurt, would you rather skydive or view sharks from an underwater cage? Now, I know it says you're not getting hurt here, so let's take away all the little variables that could go wrong. I think I would choose skydiving, yeah. Now, I know that sounds weird for people that might know me, like, really? You want to go skydiving? I haven't even been parasailing, so I don't even know if I could cope with it because I was fatter than I am now. I weighed a lot more than I do now. I'm still very much fat, but it was in my mind that I just could not go parasailing because I was too fat. And I know they have all the safety and requirements, and they weigh you, and they got the ropes, and I know it can be done, but in my mind I was too fat, can't do it. And you know, maybe I go parasailing in the future whenever that's opened back up and figure out, and I might be like, oh God, no, I cannot parasail, so there's no way in hell I could ever go skydiving. But right now in this moment, skydiving sounds more appealing than being underwater with some sharks in a cage. Sorry. Which celebrity would you most like to see in person? And I'm smiling about this because if you know me, you already know the answer. You don't need me to tell you. But I would love to see Johnny Depp, to meet him, to interact with him, anything, Johnny Depp. Now, that may be a little controversial given everything that's going down, but you know, that's his personal business, not none of mine. But I have loved him way before a lot of people were tuned into him. A lot of people tuned into him after the, you know, success of Pirates of the Caribbean, but I knew him way before that. We're talking Benny and June, From Hell, Sleepy Hollow, Cry Baby, What's Eating Gilbert Grape. Now, one of my favorite movies that he's ever done is Secret Window. I know there are a lot of people that do not understand why I enjoy this movie as much as I do, but I do. It's one of my favorites. So, hands down, I would love to see Johnny Depp. We've reached our final question. Now, when you were young, what did you want to be when you grew up? Now, if we're talking young, I wanted to be a dentist, and that was strictly because I was obsessed and loved my dentist. He is still around, Dr. Bostic, love you, very caring of your patients. But I grew up and realized I didn't want to be a dentist. That wasn't for me. Shout out to all the dentists and orthodontics out there. You rock. Good on you, but it just wasn't going to be for me. And then, like I said, I grew up, and that's about when Harry Potter popped around, and I was 13, and Harry himself was 13, and I was just absorbed into these stories, and reading became really vital. I read everything. I got done with Harry Potter, and then started up all these other series. And so it was only natural then that writing popped into my mind. Yeah, I want to be a writer. And I have always written in the past. I still to this day write, not as much as I like to. Fantasy fiction has always been my jam. That's where I want to go and read. Even my personal preferences, that's what I want to read. I don't want to read, you know, anything else. But as I grew up, I realized that wasn't necessarily going to be financially smart because obvious those things take time to become a successful writer. I'm not saying I wanted something handed to me. No. I know you got to work and put in the effort and time and rejections and all of that. I understand all that, but I knew it would be a struggle trying to get somewhere with that. Not that it's impossible, but it would be more of a struggle. It wouldn't, again, be financially sound as a career. And then, again, I enjoyed movies, have always loved that. So, again, only natural that I was like, yeah, I want to be an actress. And my parents, they're not mean. They weren't hateful. They were just being realistic. And, you know, more or less, that's a 1 in a million chance. And I never went on any auditions because obviously if I wanted to, they would have to drive me, and that would be hours on end going out of the way to do that. So I understand all that. As I grew up, yeah, and I got my own car, I could have went and done it myself, but I didn't know where to go, and I'm making excuses. And so that got put on the back burner again, and I thought photography. That is something that I can do, that is proven, that is financially smart, that, yeah, it can work, you know? But no, me being me, I have no friends. I have nobody that I know. So the social networking part, getting established, because nobody, like these videos, nobody shares them. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little twisted here. But nobody helps me out, so that was squashed. And so I'm still here trying to think, what is the dream? 30 years old, what is the dream? And that has been our second edition of Table Topics. I hope you guys enjoyed. Sorry I got a little salty there at the end, but it's just been one of those days. You guys, give this video a like if you liked it. Leave comments down below with your answers to the questions. I would love to hear what you gotta say. And obviously, don't forget to subscribe if you hadn't already. What are you doing? It's gonna help me out. I mean, it's just a little click. Just click it. But till next time, I'll see you guys. I am Stacy. Thanks for watching. Keep safe. Bye.